Hello and welcome. Professor Ogolla is here with a clear message, a very disturbing one to the president and his entire leadership. And before we jump right into the analysis, I want you to first watch and listen to him.
Is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. Having given illegal orders, I want to tell the chief of staff, the CDF, the so-called Kaniri, you have to know your president is not fit to command. A commander-in-chief should be fit to command. And if you give wrong commands, then you are not fit. Mentally, the president is sick. He cannot give any suitable command to the Kenyans, even to defense forces. So I'm telling Kaniri, go and arrest the man. After arresting the man, I'm willing to be the commander-in-chief of all peaceful protesters in Kenya. I can command the peaceful protesters. Let President William Ruto command the goons, isn't it? And the armed policemen who don't know how to use their guns. Me, on Sabasaba Day, I'll be commanding the peaceful protesters. And I want to tell Mr. President, and you have used a word, that if you are going home, how are you going home? I can tell you, Mr. President, if you are a presidential material, and if you are a leader, when Kenyans say they want you to go, don't ask how to go. You should ask, why should you go? The question is why, not how. Because how is simple. If you don't know how, wait for us on Sabasaba Day in State House. Don't block us. We'll give you express transport to Sugoi. We know how to take you to Sugoi. But why is that Kenyans are fed up? You promise them healthcare, nothing. You promise education, nothing is working. You promise jobs, they are not working. Kenyans are asking for bread and fish. What you throw back is a bullet. How can a father give a snake and a stone when kids ask for fish and bread? If you don't know how to give bread and fish, leave State House. So the reason why is you are not giving fish and bread. You are giving what? Stone and snake. So because you are giving a stone and snake, that's why Kenya are saying you must go. And I can tell you, I've seen many dictators. Even Assad used even nuclear weapons on his citizens. He left. I can tell you, you are going home. It may be today. It may be tomorrow. It might be half term. It might be one term. But the point is that your regime will have an end. Mr. President, when you are not in power, how will you survive with what you are doing to Kenya? So just stop it. Go home. Stop lecturing us. You are a politician. You are not an economist. The Kenyan problem is economic, not political. And with your political solutions, Kenyans will remain angry and they still say, Ruto must go. And surely you must go. And in fact, eventually you will go. Thank you.
How bravery and courageous is Professor Ogolla to call President William Ruto the commander-in-chief of goons, but not of forces. We all know clearly that the president is the commander-in-chief of all forces. But what Ogolla is telling us is contrary to the constitution. Ogolla is coming with his own terms, what Kenyans do not even expect. And this is the reason why Ogolla believes that president is fully the chief commander of goons but not forces. Okay. During the protests of 25th June, I believe clearly that you remember what happened in some places, whereby we saw goons frustrating and beating up peaceful protesters in the presence of police officers. And instead of police intervening to help, they were leaving the scene for the goons to do their work as they were instructed, likely by the state. I also believe fully that you saw goons inside police vehicles. How is even that possible? And this is what Professor Ogolla is talking about. He knows clearly that the goons which disrupted peaceful protesters were goons hired by the state, specifically, according to him, by the president. So according to him, Instead of president creating peace to Kenyans, he is causing chaos by using goons who frustrate and beat up innocent Kenyans who are just demanding for their freedom and rights. Now that aside, Professor Ogolla has also gone further to respond to the president on the question he raised to his critics on how he should go home. According to Ogolla, the question should not be on how, but why. And this why is what many Kenyan youths are talking about. They have clear reasons why they feel that the president should go home as early as now.
We have grievances not with the police officers. We have grievances with a system that does not reward merit. A system that rewards who you know in the government rather than what you know. That is a system that we want to dismantle. That is why we are getting out in the streets. We are not getting out in the streets because of anything else. It is because this society that has been created has failed us. And at this point, we are not...
is taking us for fools. They promised to compensate all those, who lost their lives, who lost their properties and all that. And also they promised to do better, but that has not happened. We're still seeing a lot of expenditure. We're still seeing them, allocating money for State House and all that. Yet the common mwananchi, there's no medicine, the education is that very expensive. So the reason I stay back to the streets today is to remind them that we want things done the right way.
Have you seen any change since the June 25th protest?
Honestly, no. They did a few things, a few days after the June 25th, but they have gone back to factory setting, and that's what actually is, making us very angry, because they promise one thing and then they do the other thing.
Okay. It is a decision you have made.
I'm fighting for the people who are fighting and got shot. I'm fighting for the kind of regime that is there and is making everyone and each and every person poor. We are here on the streets because one of the things that we want to show them is that we did not put them there for them to steal from us and kill us. We are human beings. They have children, they have mothers, they have fathers. But they are here fighting us because we are fighting for what we are supposed to fight for.
Okay. Yeah, and despite all the pledges and promises the government made 1 year ago, have you seen any changes so far?
Everything has been a lie. Nothing has changed. Everything has been a lie, and it has gone down in a bad way.
And we are here to fight this poor governance. The police are killing people. We are here to fight the killing of the people, the extrajudicial killing, the corrupt government. There's nothing we are getting absolutely out of this government. We are youths, but yet tunahangaika, tunateseka because we have to look for, lazima tutafute, unatafuta kitu hakuna, ukipata unanyang'anywa. So we are just fighting off this government. Hatutaki hata one time issue, it's just a half.
So those Kenyans who want to see the president going home, they have their clear reasons why they think the president should not still stay in office. They see the president who has failed to deliver to his promises. They see the president who has failed in terms of governance and also leadership. And that's the reason why the president should not still have to stay in office. And instead of the Kenya government to address the matter at hand, they are diving into something else. In fact, they are putting politics into it.
Wakati Mheshimiwa Jomo Kenyatta alikuwa rais hiyo miaka yote, mimi sikuwa nimezaliwa, lakini nasikia maneno ilikuwa imetulia, kukuwa na kelele. Wakati Moi alichukua miaka akaongoza 24, kelele ikaanza kukua all over, ni kama yeye sio mtu wakati hiyo. Wakati Mheshimiwa Mwai Kibaki alichukua, hata baada ya kusapotiwa Kenya mzima, watu wakanyamaza ni kama ni malaika. Wakati Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta alichukua uongozi, hata wakati alikuwa anaamka saa 7 na macho red, watu walinyamaza tu, ni kama iko sawa tu, hakuna shida. Wakati Mheshimiwa William Ruto amechukua namna hii, kelele sasa imetokea tena ala. Hata William Ruto ni mtoto ya mtu, my friend, tafadhali. Unajua lazima tuambiane hiyo pia. Hata yeye ni mtoto ya mtu. What is the noise about? Na sisi tunaambia wa Kenya, kila mtu ako na demokrasia yake. Hii ni Kenya, sisi wote, hakuna squatter. Wewe unaimba kutoka sehemu yako one term. That is your right. Mimi pia ni right yangu, nasema 2 term. Kila mtu ako na right yake. Sasa wewe 1 term, unaimba 1 term. Ni akili gani unatumia kujiambia kwamba wewe ndio uko Kenya zaidi kuliko sisi? Atunatembea kwenda kutoa rais, na sisi watu tutamtuenda wapi? Kwa sababu sisi wote ni wa Kenya. Unaamka asubuhi ukijiambia kwa akili, mimi nimesema 1 term, wacha ni, na sisi watu tutam, yet sisi wote ni wa Kenya. What happens with that? Lazima tujifunze ya kwamba this is a democracy. Na hata kama unasema ni 1 term, 1 term ni miaka 5. Wewe kwa quota unatupimia term yetu aje, na wewe ni wa quota wewe. How is that possible? It can't be. We cannot be making a lot of noise all over na kuamka asubuhi ati kwa sababu umesema 1 term umeenda umevunja supermarket. Umesema 1 term umeharibu maduka za watu. Wednesday mmekimbizana mnachoma mpaka police station. Mmekimbizana mnachoma ofisi ya DC. Mmekimbizana.
So in my conclusion, the president and his entire leadership should consider what the public wants and not what his close allies want instead. Because if it does that, then it is going to lead into the bad direction, particularly taking him to Sugoi for life. Thanks for watching, and let's catch up soon in our next video. Bye and take care.